I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the Best Rapper in LA podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though? Best Rapper in LA, episode 43. Yeah. Sweet Lord, we're still here. Life as an indie rapper is challenging, y'all. There's the indie scene and labels. Then there's the mainstream labels. And I just came up with a word this morning. There's the industry. The motherfuckers that don't have the heart of independent labels, like Rhyme Sayers, Legends, Hyro, Imperium, those things were labels built, Def Jux, by friends who just became a business and tried to make it work. Similar, modeled on the industry, but not with the heart of the industry. The heart of the industry was to make money off of music. The heart of the independent rap scene is to make a business out of a passion. So it mirrors the mainstream industry, but at its core, there's still love for the culture, if that makes sense. The industry people are the people who operate in that space where someone has fallen out of the mainstream but still wants to make music, and they, you don't have the money or the star power to compete with the majors, but you still move like you are a major label. There's no love for the culture or passion. And you still have a larger staff, those things. And those motherfuckers get me. Like, I took a lot of shit from Warner Brothers because it's Warner Brothers. And I think Warner Brothers is when it's big enough where I never had to see anybody in Warner legal or finance. And then I had a lawyer deal with those people. So the people I dealt with were passionate and mostly the creatives. And I think it's good for legal because if legal got to meet the artists, I don't think they could do some of the things they have to do to make that business model work. Because I'm sure they're human with feelings. But when in the industry, they don't have enough staff or money to create these barriers. And I got to deal with some motherfuckers. I just had a conversation with my homie Clint Schaff, who listens to the podcast, Hip Hop Hello. I think it's Hip Hop Hello, NWA. Check out his podcast. It's a radio show. It's for Northwest Arkansas if you get a chance. But man, yeah, speaking to him, there's always sides. Like, I'm still me, man, and certain tones. Like, if you're doing a service for me as a label and I am still the majority beneficiary of the money that's created, I cannot tolerate you can't tell me I have to give you this information before you give me my fucking money. Are you out of your fucking mind? And so I'm like, I always have to be like, let's get on a call because I can't tell the tone. But when you tell me I have to do something, you're collecting money on my behalf, yet you're requiring. Same thing with my digital distributor. I rarely collect my streaming royalties, y'all. It's so small. That's why thank you to everyone who supports on Patreon. But when I do go in there, it's like a savings thing or, someone that I did business with needs their cut of the money. And these motherfuckers are telling me after 2 years of collecting music from my streaming royalties that they need a Twitter message from another artist I work with in order to release my bro, I almost lost my fucking mind. To release my money, you need a Twitter message from somebody. You've been collecting the money on both of our behalves for 2 years with no problem. Now when it's time to pay out, you better fucking, bro. Just a quick glimpse into what they call, I like the term industry because it's not a fucking business. It's not a business. But as we go further into money a cashless society, we're all going to be dealing with these problems. Freezings of funds. This is just fucking ones and zeros now. Cash or crypto? What is better to keep? Yeah, that's all I'll say. And I'm so happy that episode 43, if you had a pager back in the day, put a 1 in front of that. That's the I love you pager code. Because I is 1 letter, 4 letters for love, and 3 letters for YOU. So I'm going to call this episode 143. Because this is a song I love. This might be my favorite song I've ever done with Ninth Wonder, and one of my favorite songs I've ever done. And I love it, and I love it, and I love it. As the vocal sample, it's a little up-tempo. There's a bounce to it. I'm into my cadence. I think this is my natural cadence. If I had a natural cadence of when I'm performing, how I bounce around the stage, like this is it. If my heartbeat could be a drum loop, this would probably be it at my happiest. I don't know what frequency or tones or hertz or rose quartz diamond fucking shit, how to translate that into hippie language, because they deal in frequencies and vibrations. I don't know what fucking sound bath, jade bowl, crystal you have to rub against the fucking rock to get this drum loop frequency, whatever it is, but it's mine. It is the opposite of whatever fucking diss track is relevant right now in this war that continues or is over, I don't know. But I loved it because it's the polar opposite.
She was only 5'2" when she loved to argue. Girl had a mouth on her till it went south on her. Then I had to bounce on her. Yup, clean house on her. Now she cussing and she screaming, standing out on the corner. But I love her and I miss her. It was hard to dismiss her when I know in 3 days I'ma get back with her. Damn, that was the wrong verse. Hold up.
She was only 5'2" when she loved to argue. Girl had a mouth on her, but it went south on her. But I had to bounce on her. Yep, clean house on her. Now she cussing it, she screaming, standing out on the corner. I love her and I miss her. It was hard to dismiss her when I know in 3 days I'ma get back with her. I had already started writing the breakup song because I was getting the Murs for President sessions going concurrently. This was a individual I was dating with a very volatile relationship. Very, very hood partner I had, or stereotypical. So loud conversations in, my very expensive apartment complex. Yeah, back and forth, parking lot, parking garage, drama. I'm sure most of us young people have had these relationships, 2 young people, Americans trying to figure it out. The irony is that, at least for a lot of Black Americans I know, and I think a lot of just Americans now in this culture where we're dealing with divorce or step parents, we're raised by strong women of color. I was raised by a strong Black woman. She was raised by 2 strong Black women. And there should be an understanding, but for some whatever reason, we can go deeper, or somebody more qualified could go deeper. It makes it even harder because I am trying to be a stand-up, strong man in a relationship, and neither one of us has seen what that looks like. So I'm sure it's hard to receive because we both know when something's legitimate. I know that men run the streets, and run the house. Just 2 different runs, you know what I mean? Are the head of a man. Men run the streets. They control the streets, but they don't control the house. Black women control a lot of the house in my era of raising. So now, for me, a Black man, quote unquote, from the streets or just, hood, quasi-hood, whatever, trying to be the head of my house or my relationship, it's weird for both of us. So that was just, I think, the tip of the iceberg of a lot of my relationships with growing up. What does that look like? That line, those bars could have been in the breakup song, because the breakup song has been trying to come out now at this point for about a year. And I keep bringing up the breakup song because it's probably one of my biggest songs, or popular songs.
I want to hear your voice, but I don't want you to call. I want to see you, girl, but not see you at all. I want to make up, but I still want to fight. I wanted to break up, but it just don't feel right.
And it's coming out. And I also want up-and-coming artists to know that it could take a while. Hip-hop mom, a mentor and friend of mine, she told me like how long it took Smokey Robinson to write Cruising. It was 7 years or something. Like, he wanted to find the right words. I literally started writing this in a Jessica Rabbit sequenced, hardbound rhyme book, left it there as it was part of a diary. The woman I'm rapping about read it, dissed it or whatever, and then after I left it, I didn't finish it. After she found it, said something about it, then I was able to finish it. And I think when the relationship was finished, I was able to finish it. No, it was finished before the relationship was finished. Anyway, because then we wouldn't have Remember to Forget. What a saga.
Remember. I keep forgetting to remember to forget all the lies and all the bullshit. All the reasons that we had to call it quits. Pieces to our puzzle that never seemed to fit. Started out fast and it is
so I started with this whole thing because that was what was leaping out of my chest. And like I said, this is my heartbeat, this beat. And then I stopped and I was like, I cannot do another girl song. Fuck this. And I love it. Like, and we were in a place of, and I love it. And then once again, I have no idea if that's what it's really saying. But it has a "You're my darling baby," so of course I'm thinking like, oh, okay. And I love it. You're my darling baby. So I'm like, okay, I gotta write about a girl. And I was like, you know, fuck that. Which led me to keep it and then have an opportunity to do the fucking DJ. We started this with the NWA thing.
Yo, man, there's a lot of brothers out there flaking and perpetrating, but scared to kick reality.
Yo, Dre, you been doing all this dope producing. You had a chance to show them what time it is.
So what you want me to do?
A lot of doing faking and perpetrating, but they scared to kick reality.
Hey, Murs.
Yeah, man. What up, though?
Yo, man, we got these brothers out there scared and faking and perpetrate, but they scared to kick reality.
Well, man, you been doing all this dope producing. Why don't you show these brothers what time it is?
So what you want me to do?
I want you...
I want you to get your line.
I want you to...
That's what I want you to do.
I want you to... I forgot, man.
Ninth, Slug. These are all guys that I think... I've always been the young guy. In Living Legends, I'm the youngest. And 3MG, I'm the youngest. Always had older friends. I was forced to grow up pretty quickly. Yeah, all my homeboys are older than me. But in rap, like that's, you know, that 4 years, that 2 years, that 6 years is a huge gap because they were buying different records and rap changed so drastically in those eras. I'm not an Eric B. and Rakim fan, but I probably would have been if I was 15 when Paid in Full dropped. But I was 15 when Illmatic dropped. And that's just a huge difference. Not huge, but it's a big difference. So he knew that skit at the beginning by heart, but I didn't really know it. I feel like I was on the DLC album or something. I didn't really even hear that until recently, like on a regular basis. When I put out the song DLC, I started to just really play No One Can Do It Better, which is a great album. Go check it out.
No one can do it better. No one can do it better. No one can do it better.
But I know how to fill in the blank. But this was a little more my era. I was like, I want to ball up the paper like DJ Quick did on Black Pussy, because that song changed my life.
Damn. That was the wrong verse. Hold up.
It's nothing like living in the white suburbs and you found your group. There were some triplets and their brother that were from Compton, and I was from Linwood, and we like formed a group because we were the only one, like 4 of 7 to 8 black people in the whole middle school. So we would all walk home together. And we knew that song. And so we're singing Black Pussy walking down the streets of Covina.
Yeah, and I'm taking all the money from these funky hoes that I be breaking. If you say that there's another quick, then you're mistaken. I'm not a coward and you'll never see me shaking. Never breaking lots of money that I'm making. If you double cross me, then I'll be your undertaker. I would never befriend you because you are a staker. Open up your mouth if you want some beef steaker. If you suck it long enough, you'll taste the milkshaker. Lyrics I'm humming when they see me coming. Suckers they, oh shit, hold up, man, it's the wrong motherfucking page and shit. Oh shit, I didn't start on the. Oh, okay, here we go. Black Pussy.
So I remember that vividly, and I always wanted to like him balling up the paper. Oh, hold on, shit. Black Pussy. I always talk about it because man, that was so dope to me. Like, he balled up the paper in the middle of his rap. So getting to do that on I Love It was just people say full circle moment. It was fulfilling, man. It just felt so good. And of course, I'm rapping to a fan base that doesn't get it at all. But Ninth got it, and we had a great time. And to be able to reference such a filthy song on one album that we're doing clean as fuck. And it's such a positive song from this point out. If you're listening, Max Caster, Platinum Max Caster, one half of the Acclaim, the best tag team in professional wrestling currently. The YouTube was uploaded by Max Caster 989 15 years ago. So Max, if this was you 15 years ago, thank you, because it's allowing me to do this podcast. And I know that Max sometimes listens to the podcast. If you don't know Max, please check out his music. The best rapper in wrestling right now.
The Acclaimed, top of the chain, so I bet you know the name. Everybody saying that they want to
Sonny Kiss, you losing to Acclaim tonight, cause you can't get on TV to save your life.
Lots of love to him. But yeah, it goes like this. Sunshine, blue skies, dress looking too fly, look good, feel good, how good, real good, health, wealth, knowledge of yourself.
That was the wrong verse. Hold up. All right. It ain't about her. It's about this. I'm talking sunshine, blue skies, dress looking too fly, look good, feel good, how good, real good, health, wealth, knowledge of yourself.
That was just like playing off of like we spoke about it in past episodes when one day after Murs, I think Knife was taking me to the Best Buy to buy T.I. to take me to the airport. And he just came out like white and clothes and explaining that he was dressed good because he feels good. When he looks good, he feels good. And God has blessed him with a beautiful day. God's showing out. I'm going to show out some country shit. And so that line came from, I often try, I listen ahead and there's another song. I try to speak for Ninth when I can because he doesn't rap. So when I'm hanging out with the producer, especially like White Man Dingoes, when we get into that, if we do that album, a lot of that is me hanging out with Sasha and Daryl and kind of trying to give people who play instruments or do the music a voice. Because I feel like that is an MC's job as well as speaking for the community. So I always try to put little things in there for me and Pat Ninth. Health, wealth, knowledge of yourself, your best friend being there when you need yourself. Like health, wealth, knowledge of yourself. Knowledge of yourself is something that's really important. As I have a young black boy in my house that's about to be a teenager soon, and I think about like coming of age and books and stuff I didn't get, but it was great to have Chuck D and Public Enemy, X-Clan giving me positive stories about being black. And it would have been better if I had a good example of a daily example of my uncle and my grandfather were definitely examples of black men, but I wasn't living with them. I wasn't getting a 24-hour, who is the positive role model? How does he wake up in the morning? Yeah, you may show up to your school, your PE coach, how does he wake up in the morning? How does he go to sleep at night? What does he eat? Does he work out? You know what I mean? What are his hygiene habits? All those things you pick up by looking at someone on a regular basis. So I was getting the knowledge of self that way, but, and it was essential, but like, reading Solo on Ice at a young age, aware of being black, aware of what that means, aware of what it's meant in the past, and knowing that I could change what it means in the future. Knowledge of self is term thrown around, but it's definitely, has rooted in, as far as hip hop goes, definitely rooted in the 5%ers, Culture Nation of Gods and Earth. Peace to them. If you know about that, I don't know if I want to call it religion. I'm not going to call it a cult. A cult is short for culture. people who study that science. I think they would appreciate that. The study that science. The daily mathematics. If you listen to Wu-Tang and you don't know the 5% mathematics, you're missing out on a lot. Same thing with Boot Camp Click.
You memorize the 1 to 40. I'm at the 19th degree. If a civilized person doesn't perform, his duty what shall be done. Pardon me, God. That nigga got a gun bulging out his sweatpants. Check out his stance.
Just missing out a lot of that era of hip hop. The Knowledge of Self. Message to the Black Man is a book that I read. And it's controversial now, but at the time, like growing up, I was reading a lot of Dr. York books and the Holy Tabernacle Ministries. And, there was a lot of bad, but a lot of good that came from that. Learning who you are, who you could be, and showing and proving is, but knowledge of self is something I think about constantly. And Message to the Black Man by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was a great book for me to read. How to Eat to Live was another great book for me to read growing up. And when to give, I wish I would be giving the 5%, the original lessons, the mathematics, giving that all to my son, not as the absolute truth, but as tools to use. I think it's good things to memorize. It creates a good discipline, and it definitely makes math make sense. It makes it, applying science and math in a cultural way, in a mystical way is great. So all that is in there. My health, whatnot. Your best friend being there when you need some help. Shelter, clothing, your car when it's rolling. Thankful for little things that just keep growing.
Your best friend being there when you need some help. Shelter, clothing, your car when it's rolling. Thankful for the little things that just keep growing.
As this podcast grows, as everything grows, not equating growth to money, we've just become humans without farms. And so when you see your bank balance grow, it does mean stability. But the same thing is with a farmer looking out and seeing his crop grow, that means stability. That means you're going to make it a couple more months. But we've equated wealth to mean something else. But that type of wealth, like that's what capitalism plays on, our natural desire to see things grow. And when you see things grow, you feel secure. Stocks, all those things are, seeds, children. It's nature to want to put your energy and time into something and see it grow and blossom and bloom. And when you don't, you're frustrated. It's not about how much you're paid. It's not about the actual number. It's just the process that feels good and gives us as humans the security and the feeling of security that we're going to be all right. We'll be able to survive when we see things grow.
Your best friend being there when you need some help. Shelter, clothing, your car when it's rolling. Thankful for the little things that just keep growing. Holding on to memories, forgiving all your enemies. Letting go of hate so you don't waste energy. Assemblies, field trips, remember that realness. Using inner strength to triumph over illness. Honesty, loyalty, someone that will spoil me. Love my dirty draws and treat me like royalty. Checks, respect, posse in effect. Person I front is like BFF. Friends forever.
Thankful for the little things that just keep growing. Woo. The car when it's rolling, thankful for the little things that just keep growing. Holding on to memories, forgiving all your enemies, letting go of hate so you don't waste energy. Come on, man. Nobody was rapping like this. I don't give a fuck, man. Give me mine, because this is like, it's the exact opposite of a diss song. Holding on to memories, forgiving all your enemies. Like the same thing, like a lot of people hold on to memories, but with those memories are grudges. And holding a grudge is like drinking poison every day and expecting the other person to die. The saying. Letting go of hate so you don't waste energy. Yeah, that was rapped about on Murray's Revenge is something that I try to practice and try and definitely preach. Probably preach more than I practice, because that's why I've had such a fucking rough morning. But having those conversations and getting it out, that is so important, so vital. Just have a tough conversation and don't hold on to it. Memories should be all golden, as they say. Assemblies, field trips. Remember that realness? That was a stretch, field trips are realness, that realness. But it was like a real feeling. Coming to school and hearing you fucking don't have to sit and look at your teacher. You're going to have a fucking assembly? I can remember being excited about the walk to the assembly because you get to talk. During this episode, you will hear me say the word kibbutz a lot. I don't know who in my Hebrew homies crew, whose grandmother, whoever, put me onto that. And then I just twisted it. Who knows? It's used incorrectly. I still don't have a substitute for it. It's not absolutely incorrect. It definitely refers to a settlement kind of thing, which is a group of people, but it also refers to idle conversing. So maybe it's a combination of the both. I don't know. No excuses. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to what I know, but no need to DM me. I fucked up. Roll with me. I don't know how all these fucking Yiddish words got into my vocabulary and into my lexicon, but like kibbutz, like, like we get to fuck around, man. And recording this with this the last album, my homie Jesse Shack, and we were talking about that. I said something like tush and tush and like certain things. And I'm like, is that like my mom? I don't know if she went to school with Jewish kids, but like I grew up with like certain little Yiddish words will pop up. And it's part of who I am, and I'll say it, and I was like, huh? I forgot what the one came up the other day, but yeah, right now it's just like, I want to say kibbutz. Like, we just like get into the fucking auditorium and fucking be rowdy kids, and like there's a, that cacophony of blah, 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 blah. Like in the movies, people are throwing paper airplanes, you're putting gum under seats, fucking being a kid, all that, like assemblies. That is like, it's realness. It's like, that is the real shit. You get to be a real kid. In an American school system, we don't get to be real kids very often. But that fucking 5 minutes of chaos from going to your room and everybody's emptying out of their rooms and you didn't think you were going to see them till recess or nutrition or lunch, and you're just like, shit, there goes such and such. What's up, guys? Like we are outside, bro. It's fun. And you sit down and it's like and then they're, shut up, quiet down. But now they're so militaristic. It's like, when I see my kids moving, and when I've been at school, my kid is still in the public school system. You pull them up, you get there, everybody drops them off in cars. We're all helicopter parents now. Nobody walks to school because the good schools are not in your neighborhood. For whatever reason, your kid doesn't walk to school. They get in, and there's a lady standing by the gate. I love our lady at the gate. She's amazing. And then they lock it. And she, like she's doing her job, but they're like, yeah, get in before you lock the gate. It's like, are you turning yourself in to go do time? And then they lock the gate. And then now, in order to get my kid out, I got to go around the building, hit a buzzer. You have to look at a video camera and then let me in. And then my kid is still behind another door that I have to be buzzing if I want my child. Then I have to give a reason. And sometimes they tell me like, well, that's not a valid excuse. I'm like, I don't really care. Give me my fucking kid. Are you fucking kidding me? If I want to go shoot marbles with this motherfucker right now, I fucking will. Fuck you mean? Interesting story. I'm going to just veer off. Shooting marbles in the 3rd grade. Got in a fight. Kid kneed me in my eye. I still squint. If you ever see me squinting in my left eye ever seems a little and I never recovered. They just gave me an ice pack. That motherfucker put his a 3rd grade knee right into my eye socket. Is like the patella of a 3rd grade kid is like the perfect diameter to, I don't know what the fuck cuz did to my eye, but I'm fucked up to I wish I could find it, because I got him, but that because he got the knee off, and then I grabbed his leg, bow, like I won, but long term that motherfucker got me. He got to run my fade if I ever have. I'm trying not to fight anymore, but I've sworn off that. But I got, if I can, I don't even remember the kid's name, but I had so many fights as a kid, but I'm still fucked up. Anyway, if I bring my kid early to school, there's no playing on the playground. They make them walk in a circle like they're on the yard in prison. Then they all have to line up, and then they tell them like there's levels. We need it at a 0. I'm like, motherfucker, like we can't kibitz, we can't talk, we can't chatter on the way to class. When we get in the class, it should be at a 0. I get that, but on the way to class, like we need it at a 1. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, what are we telling kids, bro? March in a straight line, and then go. You're like, man, what are we preparing them for? At what point in your career do you meet in the fucking parking lot and line up, and your fucking supervisor comes out and tells you to keep it at a 0, and then you march in and you sit in your cubicle and you better keep it at a 0, and you better raise your hand to get up, and then you get up after 50 minutes of sitting at your cubicle and really getting your rhythm and work, and then they ring a bell and then you move to someone else's cubicle? What the fuck are we preparing them for? prison. When you hear a bell, you better get in your fucking cell. You better line up and shut up. That's where I was told that. Since I graduated, I didn't hear that until I went to the fucking jail. The punk ass sheriff was telling me he was going to send me to county for 3 days for talking. I'm a grown fucking man. I've just been freed. I am a free person. You just haven't opened the fucking gate yet. The judge said I could go home, and your bitch ass is telling me to stand up against the wall and shut up. Why? But I didn't go to school a lot. I didn't drink the Kool-Aid, so I wasn't ready to fall in line. And if it wasn't for the OG, I probably would have went to county when he like grabbed my mouth. I was about to light that motherfucker up, bro. I don't get it. I will let that part of parenting. That's why I'm homeschooling my kid. I can't fuck with that, bro. Fuck you mean? Like that, the chatter, assemblies, field trips. Field trips are still fun. And I think the teachers get a day off and then they send the fun teachers on the field trip is what I've noticed. The hardcore teachers take it a day off. And then the faculty, my son's school has a great faculty. Teacher's great. It's just, they're doing the job, It's like police and they have a job to do. There's laws, there's things that, they have to produce these fucking test results or the kids don't get funding so that you can teach them. What a system. But anyway, they're the brief moments, those moments when they rang the bell, when you got to school, like, oh shit, it's an assembly today. Or waiting for a field trip and getting on the yellow bus and like, who are you going to sit next to? Where are you going? Sleeping, drooling on the way home on fucking like up against that fucking glass window that had the weird fucking levers to pull it down. And I don't even know if they allow those anymore. That's fucking dangerous. It doesn't seem like something our new helicopter parent, I'm one of you guys. I don't know if I want my kid to fucking have that. That shit drops so fast, like, and it's a huge sheet of glass. It just doesn't seem, a lot of shit. I had to explain to my kids the metal merry-go-round. I was like, what's that? I was like, you could just like, a huge piece of iron. And there was always a huge cavern around it from everybody running. You created this huge fucking hole from doing all these circles. So like you could fall under that motherfucker. So many busted lips and noses and I don't know what kind of limbs and ripped off. And he seemed enthralled by that description. I want to do that. How come they don't make those anymore? I'm like, it was fucking unsafe, bro. They did not give a fuck about us.
Assemblies, field trips, remember that realness. Using inner strength to triumph over illness. Honesty, loyalty, someone that will spoil me. Love my dirty draws and treat me like royalty. Checks, respect, posse in effect. Person I front is like BFF.
Using inner strength to triumph over illness. That was a line I threw in there because there's now nice kids are like toddler and elementary school kids. So I caught a cold from one of the babies. We all got colds. And I remember going back to the hotel and being sick in the elevator. And the guy in the elevator, he looked at me and like a young punk, like he probably could have been 46, 50. Looked at me and was like, you think you're having, basically like you think, old white man, like old, not older, but at my point, he's 20 years my senior at that point. But looked at me, I looked at him, and he's like you got a cold cut? Like you think what you going through is rough? Like all that he communicated with, he's like, don't get old, it fucking sucks. And then walked out of the fucking elevator. Oh man, it fucked me up. Because there was the look, like, little motherfucker, you think you're going through some shit? And he kind of chuckled, and then he looked back at me and hit me with that one, and then got off the elevator. I think he said something like, I shouldn't have said that. Like, you started to recant it as he left. I was like, damage done, bro. I'll never forget this fucking moment. Thank you for fucking, oh man, he slayed me with that one. I had to put that in a song. Cause I'm like using inner strength to try and, like, I'm in this, like, I'm just gonna like record this. I think I probably recorded this with the cold. But I remember being sick and I was like, yeah, I gotta man up. I gotta suck it up because it's only gonna get worse from here. And I can't say that he was wrong, but I would never say that to anyone. I can't say that he was wrong. older you get, if you survive, the more people you love die, the more, yeah, it's a rough one, man. This shit is not for the weak of heart, literally. But I love it.
Honesty, loyalty, someone that will spoil me. Love my dirty draws and treat me like royalty. Checks, respect, posse in effect. Person I front is like BFF.
Honesty, loyalty, someone that'll spoil me. Treat me like, love my dirty draws and treat me like royalty. Love my dirty draws. I don't know what culture that comes from, but my mom said that a lot. Oh, you just love her or his dirty draws. You just, oh, Hulk Hogan, you just love his dirty draws. If Hulk Hogan told you to do your homework, you do your homework, whatever the fuck it was back then. I don't know why she would use that sentence, but I heard that a lot. But as I woke up at 5-something this morning to change a diaper full of diarrhea for an individual that screamed the whole time, rolled over in his own shit. Then I had to hop in the shower, and he claimed, we're both in the shower, and he's 14 months old. He hasn't had a fucking shower, but maybe once in his life. He bathes. So now this warm water is shooting out on his skin hella hard, and he has diarrhea. He's not feeling good. Like all those things that love someone's dirty draws. I love that child. I love my children with their shit stains in their underwear. And I'm still wiping. I've been wiping asses for almost 12 years straight now. I'm glad I no longer have dogs, because then I was also picking up shit. But I love my children. When you love someone, their dirty draws, and we talked about like getting older and shit, like seeing my cousin change her grandmother's diaper in a hotel room at the family reunion was one of the most beautiful and just scary, crazy things ever. And it sounds fucking lame to somebody if you're being a fucking jackass. And we're talking about elementary school. But I can't describe it any other way. I was like, wow, my cousin is a beautiful woman and I love her. And she also is a tough chick. She is a tough lady, tough girl, her whole life. But seeing her be so soft and vulnerable, and like me helping turn my aunt over, who was the eldest of my grandfather's 13 brothers and sisters, from rural Florida, became a superintendent and did very well for herself and her family, and strong, articulate, brilliant, beautiful Black woman. Oh my God, I could cry. And, she used to wear her hair short. She just and for someone that was born in born in 1923, like having short, natural hair her whole life, as far as I know, man, my aunt was some motherfucker. And to see her like that was the scary part. But to see the way that my cousin, who is one of the toughest humans I know, soften up and do it, but still soften up and just be strong, like that is beauty. Like love someone's dirty draws, like honesty, loyalty, someone that'll spoil me, love my dirty draws and treat me like royalty. All that is in that line. She's a fucking queen. God bless my aunt, rest in peace. That is how you want to live a life so that your grandchildren want to do things like that. Like she didn't let anybody else do it. They didn't hire anybody to come with us. That she had money. They did it for her because she did it for them, because that is family. That is a real civilization in where I come from, God forbid, we're talking about it now, but being able to do well enough and to not have to send your parents to live in a home is a blessing. If you can I understand, we're dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's, and it gets really challenging if you can't, but it was beautiful to be able to do that. Not judging anyone. That's all in that line. My mother was very open and honest with me growing up, and now she's listening to the podcast, so we're going to have a couple of things to talk about, I'm sure. But, I would date girls and I'd be like, your bra is too small. I dated one girl and I'd be like, you don't wipe from back to front. Like, what are you doing? Like, these are all things I'm not a woman, but my mom was like, when she lives in a house with 2 boys, it's just us. So we see my mom on her period. We see the supplies she uses, and she just informed us about what women are going through and what women are doing and what kind of don't date a woman whose drawers is like this and blah, 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 because that's too tight and the yeast infection. Like, I knew all this shit. So I was, I dated a girl whose mother was on drugs most of her life. And I had to be like, yo, nah, you can't do that. You got to do that. And then having her come back and like, I am a C cup. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Like, this is shit. Because my mother was so brutally honest with me, you know? And things that I can't share because she shared with me like every reason she left my stepfather and my father. I knew down to the gritty, goriest details. And she says, maybe I shared, you know, and she's not sharing them in a scientific way. Like she's boohoo crying and I'm seeing these things and I need to know these things. And she still didn't make a great man out of me. I still had a lot of work to do. It didn't make me instant, but I had a lot to draw on, to work on, that I still work on. But it was vital to who I am. Her honesty and loyalty is something from gang culture. You know, those are so important. So as I dated people from other regions of the world, like loyalty means something different to me. You've never seen anyone your age die for loyalty. You know, you've never seen someone take a life sentence for loyalty. I've seen that. I've known people who've done those things. And so loyalty in a relationship to me is huge. And if you can't be loyal, just being honest, like being down for your shit, being honest takes care of the loyalty. You don't have to remain loyal. You can switch sides on me. As long as you tell me to my face, don't stab me in my back. I can eat that.
Diamonds are forever like family and loyalty, or real rap songs like cream on my melody. Diamonds are forever like my infinite thought, like respect in the hood that can't be bought. Diamonds are forever like family and loyalty, or real rap songs like cream on my melody. Diamonds are forever like my infinite thought, like respect in the hood.
Talking to my son about the drama club I was in that got me started rapping. The teacher, David Schlick, God bless him, was like, do you want to rap? I see you rap, you listen to rap. Do you want to rap? I want a parody of Ice Ice Baby called Lice Lice Baby. I think this was in the first Brilla episode back in the day. That I don't think it made the thing, but I was like, yeah. So I became Chocolate Lice and the KLP, the Killer Lice Posse, and we did this at elementary schools all around the Glendora, Covina, West Covina area. And that was my first time doing raps on stage. Changed my life. You know, I said that a lot on this podcast, but that's for sure. But I had my first girlfriend, and then I did sneak out to go to a party with them, and they were drama kids, and they wanted drama, and they were like, oh, well, I'm going to make out with this guy if you don't come. And then the next day, I'm like, okay, you were honest, and there's nothing I could do about that. So do you still want to be my girlfriend? Would you still be my boyfriend? Yeah, I don't care. Do you want to be with him? You want to be with him? Cool. All right, peace. And I was like, but they wanted the drama. That baffled them. I just went and played handball with the homies. So like, all right, well, that's that. That was fun, you know? And then especially the growing up in gang culture, like if you fall in love with somebody, you're a sucker, you don't trip over girls. Like that's definitely a part of gang culture and black street culture. So it's like that on top of that, like having a mother, like my mom would be like, okay, you're going to get your ass beat by me, and then you're going to get your ass beat by your stepfather. If you're honest, you might just take one ass whooping or just take punishment. But if you lie to me, you're definitely getting two ass whoopings, and you're going to, and punishment. So honesty was lived, breathed, and impressed on me. So honesty, loyalty, someone out to spoil me, love my dirty draws, and treat me like royalty. This is what I'm looking for as I'm having these matters of the heart trips during this album and just overall in this era of my life.
Checks, respect, posse in effect. Person I fund is like BFF. Friends forever.
Checks, respect, posse in effect. Mercer Ninth Wonder is like BFF. Fun. Two black men on a record. No one's saying that's my BFF. Everybody's talking that's my ride or die. Rah, rah, rah. That's my homie, my Cody, my whatever, my grimy, my whatever, the fuck all that. This is my best fucking friend forever. Like this, I love this guy. I love this other black man. Fuck what you talking about. Checks, respect, that's normal. And then Posse in Effect was for me. We used to have beef with the tagging crew, Posse in Effect. So anybody from PIE, don't jump me. But that was, I don't know if we talked, I believe we said that on the podcast, but the when I really started trying to tag bang, and I'm taking my brother on the blue line to baseball practice, and I let go of his hand because I see somebody writing graffiti on the wall, and I'm like, hey, fool, where the fuck are you from? You from, and I'm like, going, I think he was from PIE, like, he's right. And I was about to start like taking off on like bah, 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 like whooping it. And I look back at my brother before I like raise my fist. I look back and my brother is scared. And he's only in the 2nd grade or 3rd grade. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we just moved back to LA. Like, and I'm outside, I'm on this shit. And I'm like, man, the fuck I'm about to do? My mother has entrusted me with the well-being of my 7-year-old brother. Or no, he can't be 7. Maybe he was 8, 9, 10. But I could see like he was confused. I won't say he was scared, but it was just like, it wasn't like, he didn't hop up like, let's get him. He wasn't at that point. Now, yeah, it'd be a whole different story. But so I guess I was trying to protect innocence that was on its way to being extinguished anyway. But I had to look back like, what the fuck am I doing, bro? I got chicken in the oven at home. Yeah, it was wild, bro. But also like scheduling and that shit is like important. I'm just thinking about that now. I'm fucking 13, 14. I was supposed to do my homework, take the bus from West LA from my high school back to Midtown to my home, walk from Pico to Olympic, get my brother, walk back down to Pico, go to his basketball practice or baseball practice, then wait for my mother to pick us up there, go home and all that. Oh, and have dinner ready because my mom hasn't had time. She's coming from South Central from the cleaners to pick us up at Cheviot Hills Park. Man, shout out to us. We fucking made it. But all this is going on, and my thing is I'm about to fight somebody for putting Posse in effect. That's the name of the crew, PIE, on a fucking bus? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Fuck, what the fuck am I thinking about? So I had to put that in there, kind of like a shout out, like, I'm sorry, but I never fought anybody from there. I never really ran into anybody except for that one time. But I still see PIE hit up, and that's dope as fuck. I don't care if you're 50, you're still doing graffiti. That's fucking dope to me.
Person I fund is like BFF. Friends forever.
I just listened back. Yeah, that laugh right there, that is my I might just fuck you up laugh. Like, I'm laughing because I go, best friends forever. Like, I say it super lighthearted and effeminate or whatever. Because that's the okie dog in me. That is the I wish you would say something about me saying this is my best friend forever. Fuck out of here, tough guys. Like, I'm like in my head, I'm imagining someone saying or listening to that and be like, oh, that's gay. Fuck you.
We watch heroes, checks with 10 zeros, flicks by Tarantino, Pacino, De Niro, hugs, kisses, love, Christmas, knowing you gon' get everything on your wish list. PB&J, soft batch, chocolate chips, payday, walking through the mall like you got a grip. Like, let me get 2 of those, 1 of those.
Yeah, we watch Heroes, Euros, check with 10 zeros, flicks by Tarantino, Pacino, De Niro. Those are things me and Knife would talk about. The series Heroes was out. Shout out to Tim Kring, a comic book writer who wrote an amazing series until I'm sure the networks got in there and fucked it up. But man, Heroes was fucking, man, the cheerleader.
There's something I want to say to you. Co-captain to co-captain.
Say it.
I think you're a menace. And I'm not just talking about you punching me over your boyfriend, the girlfriend. I'm talking about you in general. We used to be BFFs. What happened?
Maybe I've gained some perspective.
Random side story, we talk about, I got to meet Hayden Panettiere, and she watched me rap at the inauguration of Obama at the Democratic National Conference in Denver.
To Chairman Dean and my great friend, Dick Durbin, and to all my fellow citizens of this great nation, with profound gratitude and great humility, I accept your nomination for presidency of the United States.
Having Rosario Dawson give me props and like dap me up and hug me was great, but fucking Hayden Panettiere sitting there and she's so tiny, and I was like, oh shit, it's the cheerleader. She's like, oh, that was amazing. I was like, yes. So yeah, there was a little planting this seed to blossom later with shouting out Heroes, check with 10 zeros, flicks by Tarantino, Pacino, De Niro, hugs, kisses, love, Christmas, knowing you're going to get everything on your wish list. PB&J, soft batch, chocolate chips, payday, walking through the mall like you got. I mean, we don't have to argue about soft batch. I'm sure there are horrible things in there. Remember that we had metal, iron, merry-go-rounds, 2-inch thick glass sliding guillotines on our buses. And I'm sure there was all kind of fucking rat poison in Keebler or whatever the fuck soft batch. But tell me, fuck Chips Ahoy, bro. Fuck Chips Ahoy and you motherfuckers that like crunchy peanut butter. My life is too hard. I'm from the streets. I need soft things for snacks. Bruh, my little vegan fucking kids will never know that joy. They will have to eat their fucking bananas. They don't even get fruit snacks. All right, if they get fruit snacks, it's fucking tremendous. These motherfuckers is on some hardcore shit, bro. Sorry. Soft bachelors, ass little kids. Where's your joy? The joy isn't having great parents and maybe they'll live long lives because who knows what the Keebler elves did to us. We'll find out in 20. See y'all in 20 years.
Hey, Keebler, how's the old elfin magic?
Oh, pretty good.
The old fudge on one side trick, huh? Wow, stripes!
Yes, sir. We're making our fudge stripe cookies. We take crisp shortbread cookies, cover them with rich fudge on one side, and fudge stripes on the other side.
The fudge stripes one were good and they had the best commercials. Remember those, like where they're like little shapes that like look like the elves and they put the fudge stripes on them? But man, soft batch, keep it simple, stupid. All right, man. Whew, I'm crying now, y'all. We had a good time with this one. It's still going. Keep it going. There's a rapper that I love. This is one of my favorite rappers and favorite performers. He was performing at a club and he was so wasted, fell like off the stage into the pit, but it was like a kind of like an empty show, but I don't know why they just still had the barricade set up. So there's no photographers in the barricade. There's barely 3 people on the other side of the bench. And when you see the video of the thing, and we talk about it on Felipe's Garage, all my Felipe's Garage fans, if you need more podcasting, you can go back and check the first 50 episodes of Felipe's Garage we did. I'm on those, and there's still a great podcast for 50 more episodes, I think, or more than that. But bro, the rapper fell off the stage onto his back into the pit. They thought he was dead. They were going to stop the music, and he just from the ground said, "Keep it going, niggas." So we will always say, keep it going. And my friends that aren't black do me the favor of not saying the N-word, at least when I'm present, and I appreciate that. Oh, but we just say, keep it going. Oh, man, but keep it going, nigga. Oh, man. We got to go back because I mentioned PB&J. That's just one line. PB&J, 4 syllables. NJ is kind of just one, but on my rider, which is what you tell the venue to have for you, among other things, on my rider has evolved over the years, but it's always, since I got a rider, I learned from Slug to have 6 white t-shirts and a pair of socks because we're not fancy rappers with Versace on. I wear a white t-shirt on stage. If you see me perform, you get soaked. I take it off. If you're touring in winter, it's very pertinent. You don't go outside in a wet, sulky t-shirt. I've started to put underwear on. I buy underwear in bulk. So I have a dry pair of underwear to put on, and that I then it's wasteful. I'm not even going to go into it. There's a book I'm working on called Tour Story, and all that's in there. But on the rider is also white bread, cheap white bread that is not really even bread, jelly, grape jelly, not jam, and peanut butter creamy. That's my red M&Ms. And usually a soda in a can. PB&J is so important to me. I don't know if it's like latchkey feeling, like once again, whatever we're going through financially, emotionally, I could go in the kitchen and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. No matter what. Nobody home when you get home. I've been coming home on my own. I skipped a grade, so I've been coming home since I was probably the age of a first grader. I've been coming home by myself. And then second, third grade, like taking care of my brother. So I guess when I was in third grade, I was the age of a second grader, whatever that is, 7, 8 years old. I've been walking home, taking care of my brother. So being able to do that for him, like, I don't know if that, like being able to make him something and make myself something, the pride and like accomplishment in that whatever it is, it's centering, it's grounding. I do that after every show. And then also being vegetarian off and on, it's like the odds of me finding something I can eat after the show, I'd rather just eat this. It's so bad for you. And in the Zulu Nation handbook, or when I did read it, when that was a thing, Green Book or whatever, it tells you not to eat after a shows. That's another one. When we talk about knowledge of self, when we started educating ourselves, and it's so sad, the atrocities committed by Afrika Bambaataa or alleged against him, I don't know if it's whatever. It's so sad that the good parts of the Zulu Nation are getting swept up in that. Because when I got that Green Book from Brother Mark Love, thank you, and it had like, oh, I wish somebody would have given me that. And I try to impart that into young rappers I meet now, like eating after the show, even though I still do it from time to time, is some of the worst shit you could do.
Walking through the mall like you got a grip, like, let me get two of those, one of those, and hey, can I get some help over here?
Walking through the mall like you got a grip. Being a black person, going to the mall, being followed around stores all my life, it was great to finally have money. And when someone looks at you and thinks you're going to steal, like they start doing that shit, you get that look. You get that look before they start following you. When you get that look when they don't think you're looking, but you know to look for that look, and I will go, can I get some help over here? Was the best feeling. And the funny thing is, like, you're sticking it I'm going to stick it to you by actually buying that. I see my grandmother do it and then not, like if someone's following her around and then not buy it. But I would have to buy it just for further prove the point. But in the end, the store is still winning. That's the fucked up thing about being black in America sometimes. Like, I have to tip even when I get shitty service, because if I don't, then I'm just another black person that doesn't fucking tip, even though you don't deserve a tip. You came in here and gave me poor service because you didn't think I was going to tip. And if I don't tip because you gave me shitty service, it's not going to be because you gave me shitty service. It's because I'm black that I didn't tip. Man, it's complex. Or I make it complex, however you see it. That's just your story. It's my story, motherfucker. It's not real. Yeah, so that's what I say, like walking through the mall like you got a grip. Like being able to walk through and like, okay, security, you follow me. Watch me go in here and buy 3 pair of shoes just to like, fuck you. You know, because to me, it's also pioneering, because the next black person you see with dreads or looking crazy, you may not think that motherfucker is there to steal. You may be like, oh shit. There's another Vegas story about that cab driver who did that to me. It's hard work, man, being some of the first, but it was a lot harder for Jackie Robinson, Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Jimi Hendrix, all of Black Wall Street. So I'm not complaining. My grandfather. Let's get back to the song.
Hugs, kisses, love, Christmas, knowing you gon' get everything on your wish list.
Love, Christmas, knowing you're going to get everything on your wish list. This year, Amazon came back, and Target had it for a couple years, but having Amazon at Target, I know it's consumerism, I know it's a fake holiday, I know it's Saturnalia, I know it's pagan, but I fucking love Christmas. Leave me alone, motherfuckers. Give me that. I like to stimulate the economy, okay? I love Alvin and the Chipmunks. Christmas has gotten a lot less fun for me, but I do love it. The little kid next door to our house said, one time we asked him what he got, and I was like, kind of like, damn, that's it? Because he's a single, only child. And he's like, yep, my grandma said that, my granny said that if 3 gifts was good for Jesus, is good enough for me. So after that, our kids only get 3 gifts, so we don't go overboard. Even some people, that's over. It's still they're privileged as fuck. But getting the Best catalog, do you remember Best? Did y'all have that ever nationwide? The J.C. Penney's catalog, whatever catalog, and finding the toy section. Before I got hooked on the lingerie section years later, finding the toy section could only be trumped by the feeling of getting the lingerie section later as a teenager with lotion. But in my pure years, I don't know if I had any pure years, but in my younger years, were toys over sex. My TOS years. That fucking catalog. You know how many times I would peruse, go over, like literally having ink on my fingers and wearing fingerprints on the fucking page from turning back and forth, circling shit that I never fucking got anyway. Oh, I wish I would get a fucking Optimus Prime. No, I did. We did get the Thundercats layer one year. We did get a couple things, but just thought of having it and seeing them, because you see the commercial, but seeing it in the catalog, like, I'm like, there's nothing, like, I'm so glad my kid, when that amp I had to, if I didn't love it so much, I would be upset, because I had to look at that. I had to hear about that Amazon catalog. I think only thing I would say is it's wasteful as fuck, but at least send me fucking 3 copies. We got 4 boys in this house. That fucking motherfucker, the possession of the Amazon catalog and the Target catalog became such huge deals. I think Target did an imprint one this year, or we didn't get it in our neighborhood. But oh man, it was delightful, man. It was amazing to have that feeling back. But that, knowing you're gonna get everything on your wish list, like that feeling, I didn't have that feeling. But I got to give that feeling to other kids and my kids. And I, as I started to do also work and like match, like my mom would allow me to match money, raise money during the year to doing my chores and whatever odd jobs I would have, working at the cleaners, to being able to match to get so I got my Gemini mixer with the 8-second sampler, which put me in the room with Jesse Shatkin, who produced a new album for the millionth time. Because I brought my mixer, I think I brought my mixer over to his house until he got his own, where you could sample 8-second loops, and we sampled the hell out of Scarface Breaks. If you don't have that record, from my generation, you're not a real MC producer. You're not hip hop, bro. Scarface records, not the rapper Scarface, Paris, the rapper, had the Scarface Breaks. We used every loop on that motherfucker, man. Looped it on an 8-sec Gemini, recorded on a 4-track, just the drums, for 4 minutes or however long. Then go back, find a record, loop that, sync it up with the drum on track 2, bro. Then bounce that to a cassette, then put that back on track, bro. You guys have no idea how hard. Fuck you. That I will say, fuck you, Fruity Loops motherfuckers, for that. That's why I'm not a producer, because that shit, bro. 4-track had 4 tracks you could record on. You do the drums on one, but you had to play it the whole time. You couldn't copy, paste, repeat, none of that shit. Play the drum, loop the drums on the 8-second Gemini sampler, make sure the loop is tight, play it out, record that, boom, go back, find the loop you want, loop that, play it over the drums on time, go back, add whatever sounds you wanted to add. Then if you wanted to get tricky, you bounce that meant take the 4-track recording, because the 4-track doesn't record at the speed of normal play. You would have to take that. Now you're losing quality if you play the beats you just made on those 4 tracks with all the sounds you wanted, and record it to another cassette, and then play that cassette recording of that beat you just made, bounce. Oh, now you can play it all to 1 track. This was bouncing it down to 1 track. You could put that on 1 track, and then you'd have 3 tracks to do vocals. If not, you could have a loop and a drum beat, and then 2. But this is before you had a beat machine, if you couldn't afford a beat machine. This is how me and Jesse Shatkin, this is how we were making rap music in his house in West LA, kibitzing, after he got home from Hebrew school. This was my life. This is why I take this shit serious. This is why I say it's such a blessing. Man, we ate shit, bro. Oh, man. And then we get into just regular shit. It's kind of all self-explanatory for me.
Talking new shoes, true school, barbecue, soul food, summer days all day, no work, no school, Wu-Tang, new slang, people out to do things, new tattoos, the smell after new rain, 316, King Magazine, King Magazine, King Magazine, King Magazine.
New tattoos, new slang, no school, barbecue, like that. That is my cadence. I used to hear all the time, I read Playboy for the articles. Playboy has some fucking decent articles, especially during a time when they would interview artists like black people. Just because they were black, mainstream press wouldn't give the kind of interview that they could get in Playboy is my thinking. The questions they would ask, I've read some decent Playboy, like good journalism in Playboy. And there's a difference between Playboy and Hustler. I never understood. As I got older, I understood. So I would read King magazine and there would be great articles. It was like Maxim for black men and hip hop heads. I was a lustful, sinful person. This is before video vixen was a thing. Like I had the first issue of every hip hop related magazine, but now I'm older and now there's a hip hop magazine with chicks in it. I don't do cars. I don't really do sports ball anymore. I don't really do the type of shoes they put in Kicks or Slam. I don't want to read what Allen Iverson has to say at this point in my life. I am into chicks though, and still into hip hop. Daytwan Thomas, excellent journalist, amazing editor, did a great job putting together King magazine. I can, at the time it was great for me with the women and everything, but still those articles, I was saving King magazine for my sons when I thought that was something you should do. Like having to play, like old guys used to say their Playboy collection. I was like, this is something for black men. And men, not like Blacktail, not like I want to see a beautiful woman and that has curves and hips and all the things, not like the models they put in Maxim. I want to see women that are appealing to me and read articles that are relevant to me. And like the products, like everything, I was like, oh shit, this is what it must feel like for a white man to pick up Maxim or GQ partially. Like it was like GQ meets Maxim, and it was like, man. So I love Daytwan because I read the editor. I'm a nerd. I've been reading the editorial since I forgot my first issue of The Source in 1991. I'm a reader. I get to the bottom of this issue, and he just shouts out Murs and Ninth Wonder 316. I'm on a plane. I think I'm going to Raleigh. Tears streaming down my face. Like, oh my God. Like, album's been off. We're off cycle. He's still playing our shit. Somebody that I respect at a high level in the culture that's been editor and wrote for many other hip hop publications over the years likes my shit. Black. He's black in a black magazine with black women. Bruh. 316, King magazine.
King magazine.
That's what that was about.
Talking new shoes, true school, barbecue, soul food, summer days all day, no work, no school, Wu-Tang, new slang, people out to do things, new tattoos, the smell after new rain, 316, King magazine, your very first kiss or the first day of spring, flings, crushes, cherry ice slushies, puppies, kitties, girls are big.
Your very first kiss or the first day of spring, flings, crushes, cherry ice slushies, puppies, kitties, girls are big, forgive me, hickeys, people ain't picky, one night stands, commit, all right, quickies, all right, so all that's pretty expendable. First kiss, like, yeah, all that is great. That's just great feelings, man. For me, there's your first peck, and then there's your first French kiss, and then there's your first makeout session. Like, those are three big moments. As I have an 11-year-old, I got to start talking about that. Isn't it weird, y'all? Some of y'all that have kids, some of y'all got grandkids, y'all like, shut up, Murs. Fuck y'all. I'm getting there, all right? I'm paying my dues. I was rapping while y'all was doing the real work. Okay, I'm getting my hands dirty. Hit me with the parenting tips in the DMs, but also hit me with pictures of your kids and their clean record of felonies, so I know how to take your advice. And if there are any grandparents out there, you're the people I really want to hear from. Yeah, man. Flings, crushes, cherry ice slushies, puppies, kitties, girls are big. So this is like a huge, like, double entendre or whatever. I don't know. I'll be using the wrong literary terms. But there's more than meets the eye here. Transformers.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Flings, crushes, cherry ice slushies, puppies, kitties, girls are big.
Crushes, cherry ice slushies. Or there was a cherry ice slushie that wasn't available in the hood. We had a lot of 7-Elevens here, but certain people have the slush puppies with that dog logo. That's such a great logo, man. I love that logo. I love that character. It's such a great character, logo, font. I love that whole thing. Cherry ice slushies. That's why I said puppy. After that, cherry ice slushies, pup. And getting those, and it tastes different. It's more sugary, more syrupy than a fucking Slurpee. Slurpee has its own taste. It's foamy. The slushies were slushy, and there's so much, it's like the raspado, but like I think that's what they're called, the ice things, shave ice. I don't like none of that shit. But when we would drive cross country, we get to a gas station that had the dog. Oh, bro. So slushies, puppies, because of the dog reference, but also puppies, kitties, girls were big. So there was a Jerry the King Lawler, who was a wrestler from Memphis, I believe, or got famous in Memphis territory, became an announcer, and there was the Godfather, who was a pimp. Come on, guys, we can't wonder why we're all fucked up and why we have so much work to do. This is national television for children. And the Godfather had the hose that would come out to the ring with him, the wrestler. And he couldn't say titties on TV, so he go, "Oh, puppies, puppies, puppies." And he would go, this whole fucking immature fucking, oh my God.
I'm talking about the puppies. I knew what you were talking about. Look at the puppies, JR. I guess because it's Labor Day, the puppies have the night off. Might be. Are you ready for some puppies? Look at Lita, she's got the puppies in a net. Woohoo!
Man, having someone I know, like I was a music executive that was known for throwing champagne on half-naked women, and he told me if I could go back and slap myself for disrespecting women like that, I surely would. But those are the influences. Like, I'm watching this and that, like, not an excuse. I'm just saying the unlearning that I had to do. And that there are kids watching that are still growing or that are 30 something now. But puppies, the puppies. So I was like, puppies as a reference to slush puppies or whatever they were called, but also puppies, kitties, as in like, yes, puppies and kitties are nice, but also titties and pussy are great as well. Kitties, girls with big, forgive me, hickeys, people who ain't picky, one night stand commitments, quickies. Hickeys, I wish there were more hickeys in my youth. But I love to see young Latino couples at the bus stop. Like, that is just like young love. It is such a beautiful thing. And it's something that was discouraged heavily in Black culture. Like, you get made fun of, and you better not put a hickey on nobody because their brother, their daddy come beat your ass. I don't know, as a Latino, like how mad is your dad when you come with a hickey, or a young Latin male, female, like how did that, I'm culturally unaware of that. But I always think like, wow, your parents were so cool, or they would cover it up with makeup. Maybe they didn't make up. I don't know. You didn't see a lot of, still to this day, like young black people holding hands, walking home from school, but you saw that a lot with a lot of young Latinos, and I always envy that. And I guess that's why there's Teen Angel and shit like that, and we don't have that. Yeah, imagine that, a magazine for young black teens where Bloods and Crips can write from pen and make pen pals. And like, when I found Teen Angel as a kid, I was like, what the fuck? Is that the name of the man? Like, what the fuck? But it would have been great, man, for our community, I think. Maybe not. Yeah, now we're about to get into a whole nother scene, but that was that part. Las Vegas, Nevada, Hakuna Matata.
Las Vegas, Nevada, Hakuna Matata. Songs by Sinatra or Africa Bambaataa. My goddaughters, otter pop, swimming when the water's hot. Silverhawks, Thundercats, where is Ninth Wonder Rat? You got to put that down.
Las Vegas, Nevada, Hakuna Matata. Songs by Sinatra, Africa Bambaataa. And I say that in that song, and then I think a year or so after this is when Mark Love comes to me and Ninth Wonder puts us down with the Zulu Nation, which was a huge moment for me because Mark Love is a huge influence, and like, he was a DJ at all the peak parties in underground hip hop and real hip hop history in LA. And when I say real, non-gangster rap hip hop, him playing your record meant something. I don't know if he ever played my record back in those days. I don't think I had records good enough to play. Let's be honest. And also, I did an interview with Mark Love recently, and he was like, you have just always been fucking weird. And it may seem like a thing, but it's like, niggas do not know what to think of. Like, first person just said it to my face, like, niggas don't know what the fuck is going on with you. Like, you're kind of a crib, but kind of a weirdo. Some niggas say you gay. Like, all like, you just put out like, you're just weird, bro. And that's cool. That's you. And I love Mark for that. But Mark put us down with the Zulu Nation. And that was amazing. He gave Ninth his actual thing that he got from Bam, I believe. And that went on to Ninth create the Black Jedi Zulus, and the Black Jedis now, I think it's no Zulu, of course, anymore. So But this is me saying Africa Bambaataa with Frank Sinatra because they're similar figures in their respective cultures to me. Not knowing that we would be in Zulu Nation together one day, we get put down with Zulu Nation at the same time. Manifesting whatever the people fucking say. Resonate, manifest, crystals, fuck, I don't know. My goddaughters, Otter Pops, my goddaughters, I just met up with them for the first time in a while. I asked their granny if I could put a picture, but they're grown. One's graduating from college. The other has a baby that's 4 years old, almost 4 years old. The other one's a chef, bartender, beautiful young ladies. I love them. I haven't seen them as much as I should. And they're mad at me, but I just got to go to Earl's with them. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. And this is my goddaughters, Otter Pops. Cooling when the water's hot. Otter Pops, if you don't know, look it up. If you know Otter Pops, let's bring them back in a vegan, dye-free. They had the pool, cooling when the water's hot. This is what I'm talking about. Being in Midtown. And I don't know if we talked about this, but my goddaughters and Otter Pops, it goes together, cooling when the water's hot. All that bar is because we used to go for weekends. When we lived in Covina, we lived in Linwood, we would go still to Midtown. That's why I say I'm from Midtown, because I've just been there almost my whole life. Even my grandparents still live there. Going into the pool, they had a pool. And so my grandfather would be like, there's little kids who come up on the roof and throw rocks in our pool. And they go swimming in our pool. We're not here. I'm going to catch them. And funny thing is, one of them is my friend who grew up to be a certified killer and is now dead. But he might have got killed because my grandfather is still has a pistol in the trunk of his car that he doesn't drive. So he was going to shoot them little niggas. Pause. But or no pause, just that's how he was going to, that's exactly what he said. And I believe him. Or at least shoot at them. I don't think he would have killed the kid, but he definitely would have shot at them. And who knows what would have happened on accident. So they would hop the fence from their apartments over to my grandfather's, get in the pool. They would throw rocks at us when we swam. I would hop out and run over to Cloverdale, which I now have tattooed on me, before I had any friends over there, ready to squab with whoever was throwing things. And they would run in the house and they would hide it up in the window and laugh. I'm like, hey, cuz, come out here, you got to follow, blah, blah. Like, I'm hot. So my grandfather, yeah, them kids was in the pool today again. I'm in Linwood, like, cuz, when I see these niggas in song, like, I'm gonna fuck them up. And a lot of them became some of my best, like, ride or die homies as we grew up. I got a Cloverdale tattoo now. But their dad, my goddaughters, their dad, rest in peace, he had died at this point. This is sweet Lord. Was one of those kids that used to throw rocks in the pool when we'd be chilling, having Otter Pops. Because at my grandparents' house, we was living it up. Silverhawks, Thundercats, where is Ninth Wonder at? That's when Jada we're reenacting. She had just, in the middle of us doing this song is when we went downstairs to see what Jada do. Murs, you seen Jada? What's Jada doing? Or something happened. We had to go. We ran downstairs and that's when she gave us the look. And fucking, oh man. So this is us reenacting that. Jada, you better put that. It's exactly what he said. Jada, put that. And she just went nuts. Oh, I love that girl. Shout out to J Def. And yeah, after that, we go into their names. Of course, Jordan, Jada, the Crib, Winston-Salem, Duke, the Dodgers, the Florida Gators.
Girl, Jada, I'm talking about Jordan, Jada, the Crib, Winston-Salem, Duke, the Dodgers, the Florida Gators, beaches, peaches, Victoria's Secret, donuts, pancakes, Ninth Wonder teaching, burgers, cheesecake, fruit with no pesticides, you and your auntie doing the electric slide. Come on, baby, you know you can go.
Ninth is a Duke fan. Most people in that area of North Carolina are Tar Heels fans, so it's a big deal. He's the odd man out when it comes to that. He is the weirdo amongst his family and friends for liking Duke, where he ended up teaching, where I've actually spoke. I mean, this friendship has grown over so many years in so many different forms. We've been done some amazing things together. Someone in the Duke program invited me to speak and do a artist in residence at Duke. And it wasn't Ninth bringing me in. It was someone bringing me in for another department. Ninth didn't even know. And I called him and he scheduled me to speak in his class as well. And, getting to look out at future NBA players and talk about hip hop and have them ask me questions was amazing to see Ninth in that element. But this is Ninth Wonder was teaching at North Carolina Central, which is no less phenomenal and amazing. But I don't even think he knew he was going to be at Duke. soon, which is a kid growing up and being the only Duke fan in your house and then being able to teach hip hop at Duke, you know, or going to North Carolina Central and not graduating, but having them call you back to work there. And then I think it's there where he met Rhapsody and a lot of the other people, Swank, Draft. I think a lot of them came through his program at North Carolina Central and be able to put some of these people on and have great careers. But we know none of this. We're just upstairs in his house, babysitting or, you know, co-sitting with his parents and us. And while we record an album that neither one of us really need to be working on.
The crib, Winston-Salem, Duke, the Dodgers, the Florida Gators, beaches, peaches, Victoria's Secret, donuts, pancakes, ninth wonder teaching, burgers, cheesecake, fruit with no pesticides, you and your auntie doing the electric slide. Come on, baby, you know you can go.
The crib, Winston-Salem. That's another, we're going backwards through these names, but yeah, that's, Murs, we're going to go to the crib. Like, it wasn't ever, we're men and nothing is ever scheduled. I would show up to rap one day and he'd be like, nah, we're going to see mom and daddy today. All right, we're going to the crib. The crib is like you going to the house, but for him, that means going to Winston-Salem where he was born and raised. But that's just cool, maybe 45, 90-minute drive. I don't know. We talk and listen to music the whole way, so it flies. The funny thing is we made that drive so many times, and I ended up, when I got the call out of the blue to adopt my oldest son on that same road, halfway between Winston-Salem and Raleigh is where I picked up my son. So I'm driving these roads. You know, life is crazy, man. Like, I'm driving these roads, you know, since 2003 with him, back and forth, not back and forth, but at least once every trip to go see the fam, to the crib Winston-Salem. So things that he can't say that I hear him say all the time, I'm putting in there. And we're joking, like I get to say Florida Gators. I say, you know, it's very personal. It's fun. To me, those inside jokes are fun, and they'd be even better if it was like De La Soul. Like, we have no idea what half of those skits are about, but we laugh and they're laughing even harder. And I think it adds some fun for the artist to the project. So my inside banter isn't as great as Prince Paul and De La, but I like to still try. Beaches, peaches, Victoria's Secret, donuts, pancakes, ninth wonder teaching, burgers, cheesecake, fruit with no pesticides, you and your aunt. I know I fucked some shit up, but it all rhymes. Beaches, peaches. It's definitely fresh off my trip to, what are we talking about? The Cayman Islands to go skating. So beaches, I'll go anywhere to get to the beach. Some of the best beaches in the world are not in America. Imagine that. And there's so many more to see. But beaches, peaches, Victoria's Secret, get it? Peaches. I don't even think that was a thing yet. But peaches, but it was a thing. But it wasn't. But some like the slushies, puppies, beaches, peaches. You know, you're laying out on the beach with your sun's out, buns out, as they say. Peaches, Victoria's Secret, donuts, pancakes, ninth wonder teaching. Pancakes are a result of a lot of my dental issues. Donuts, when there's no peanut butter and jelly donuts, I'm addicted to sugar so bad. I cut down. Fuck, man. They're so good. I gotta go to, I don't even know, the expensive place where they have the expensive matcha in Redondo Beach. They have a monthly vegan donut. How do I not have one of those at least every month? Krispy Kreme is not a donut, but it is great. And it was a lot of runs when we adopted my son. When you adopt a kid, whether you know it or not, it costs a lot of money. When you go through a private adoption agency, just want to let you know that thank God for rap, that I had $30K ready to go, just sitting in the bank so that we could adopt the kid. They called us and were like, yo, the agency didn't reach out to you guys? And we're like, nah. They're like, well, if you don't come and get this baby in 48 hours, we'll just send him to foster care. Couldn't live with that, right? So you buy the plane tickets, you get the adoption fees settled, you get on the plane, and luckily you've been friends with Ninth Wonder, who has lots of friends in places that have discounts at the Marriott and Avis, and it was just a real community came together at the last second to make this possible because I had to zero out everything to go get my baby, and I never, ever, ever regretted a day. And for those of you thinking about adopting, we've just gone way off, but these are things I love. I love my son. I love adoption and when it's done right. And everyone said, oh, it's going to change when you hold your kid. No fucking way. No fucking way. Go buy you a baby. Go adopt a baby. I say that all the time, joking. Go through the process, get certified. If you have the heart to foster, God bless you. But at least there's so many kids without. Go adopt. And I don't feel any different about my son than I do my natural born sons. Take that for what it's worth. But I've had my son since he was 48 hours old. So I got really lucky in so many ways, and I stepped into the luck. I called it luck. I could have said, how do you just call me at the last month? Because we were in the process of not even looking at babies. We weren't even wanting a baby to adopt. We wanted to adopt an older kid. And we were just had to like switch focus, dump all our money into it and jump at it. Never regretted it. We're going deep tonight. Y'all really know me after this one.
Knife wonder teaching burgers, cheesecake, fruit with no pesticides. You and your auntie doing the electric slide. Come on, baby. You know you can go.
Fruit with no pesticides. Nobody was really rapping about that. I'm just going to point out all these little things. Fruit without pesticides. You and your auntie doing electric slide dancing with the matriarchs in your family. Once again, nothing better. You know, like your grandmama used to do the fan down at worship from yesterday and today. Yeah, man, I'm so blessed to have grown up in a family that has family reunions. I might miss this year's thing, but when they do it in Jamaica and you have a family of 6, you're going to miss some of those. We all made it to New York last year. We're on our, I think, 109th this year. So shout out to all my Bowers family out there. I'll miss y'all in Jamaica in a couple weeks. But my little brother will be there, my mama, you know. So, but yeah, these family reunions we talked about in this episode, my cousin helping my auntie, our grandma, like, it's just good to have my 3-month-old held by the oldest person at the family reunion, and they all dance together at the brunch. Like, and I have pictures and video of that. And, we just lost one of my cousins today. And, but she was there this summer. It's just family is so important to me. And I hope it's not, why don't you have a family reunion? Even if it is you and the family that you like, start from there. It's got to start sometime. It's got to start with you. And I believe as this world goes, wherever the fuck is going, family is going to continue to be more important. You and your auntie doing the electric slide, it's a Black thing. I just found out I always say my friend Terry Smith is the best dancer I know, but it's weird that he can't do the electric slide. That's been a metaphor. It's electric. I can remember 50,000 raps, but I can't tell you where my fucking car keys are. But he said, I can do it. I'm just, whatever. So, yeah, electric slide is phenomenal. If you are not a person of color and you have never been to a family reunion, make a Black friend. And when people say that all the time, but I know a guy who really did that. There was a city meeting and he's a white guy and there's a Black guy very, strongly suggesting that thank you to all the liberal white folks in the room. And it's great that you guys want to help, but it's beyond donating money and opening facilities. Like, he's like, a lot of people in this room, probably none of you don't have a Black friend that you can go to their house and just hang out. It starts there. It happens there too. The work happens there too. And my white homie stood up and you're like, you're right. Do you want to be friends? And after that, they ended up being next door neighbors. And I was at this dude's house. This is a white man with 4 kids and a white wife. And we're at his beautifully designed house in a Black neighborhood. And he made sure to get Black architects because the land was owned by white people in a Black neighborhood who said they only would sell to a Black person. So the Black friend my friend made, bought it. And then when he was going to sell it, he had to sell half to he wanted to sell half because it was too much land. And they wouldn't let something happen, but he just basically said, I'll buy it and sell it to you. So then so him and his new white friend that they made at this very meeting, when he had the courage and the no shame to stand up and be like, you're fucking right. What's up? That can start lots of change and just a beautiful relationship, and starts for a new family, because it's not just about color. But yeah, so he's sitting there like, man, still sometimes I feel like, am I gentrifying? And, I saw his neighbor's kids, they live on acres. It's my kids and my friend's kids, are only black kids there, and then his family is white. And then just a random black kid walks in the house without knocking, takes off his shirt while walking through this $1 million home, and then just jumps in the pool. I said, bro, like, I think you don't have to worry about being a gentrifier. Like, you're part of this community. I was like, I don't know whose kid that is, but I just saw a black kid walk into a white man's house with no shoes on, take off his shirt and jump in your pool, and you didn't break your neck or break a sweat. It wasn't even like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? It was just so everyday, whatever. The party kept going. And it was just, I was like, yeah, this is what America should work towards. Like, not that we all have to have $1 million homes, but just having enough and getting down. Just be like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. What's up? I don't have any black friends. If you're working in the community, don't just be there as a hand up or a hand out, but allow, it feels good to help someone who's helping you, or to enrich the lives of someone that's definitely doing you a favor. When you accept a little help or just a little love and allow the person that you're helping to give you love, it's amazing, y'all. So yeah, family reunions, all that stuff, doing the electric slide, make a black friend so you can go to a family reunion and do the electric slide with their auntie. Priceless. I want to come dance to Mumford & Sons or whatever it is the fuck y'all be doing.
Well, I came home.
I don't know, have I been to a white friend's wedding? I don't believe so. I had to have. Well, I guess, yeah, Ali, but I don't count that. Sorry, Ali. Ali listens. And I never count him. He never tells me not to, and I know that he's white. I've seen his passport and met his family, but I just couldn't say that I'd be going. I'd be doing a white America a disservice by saying I've been to a white person's wedding by going to Brother Ali's wedding. I'm just not going to do that. So if y'all got a wedding, and I know the DM's about to pop off, and I got to own up to it, let's fucking do it. Let's fucking do it. Even those of you with right-wing family, especially those of you with right-wing family uncles that you don't like to talk to, sit me at the table with that motherfucker, and let's see if we can't be fucking buddies by the end of the night. I think I could do it. Not that I'm going to change his political views, but I think, he'd have a different opinion on at least black people who look like me. And that's a start. We can't go in trying to un-Trump people from the jump, but we can un-Trump their heart.
I got love for my mama for surviving all the drama, and I'm hoping that the world fall in love with Obama. My first pair of Jordans that I bought when I was 21, all my money, not depending on anyone. Care Bears, Apple Jacks, Running Man, Cabbage Patch, G.I. Joe with any show that came on after that. Cadillacs, old schools, rainbows, no rules, waterfalls, sun rays, football, Sundays, 3-day, weekend, sleep in, Monday, a 5-hour flight, touching down on the runway, living out desire, clothes fresh out the dryer. Seeing my name when they handing out flyers. Shows when they sold out. Girls when they hold out. Girls when they give it up. Money when I get a cut. Walking in the crib, see a newborn sitting up. One life, one love. Come on, y'all, live it up.
All right. Last part. I got love for my mama for surviving all the drama, and I'm hoping that the world fall in love with Obama. I'm putting this guy in raps because this is 2007 before he starts to run. I have no idea, once again, that I'm going to be rapping at the Democratic convention inauguration. It's really going to work. I have no idea that I'm be doing a Rock the Vote campaign when Murs for President drops in the September before the November he's elected.
The world is so much bigger than you, and there's so many people that don't have a voice, and you have a voice as an American. Why wouldn't you vote? Go in, vote. It's over. It's done. It doesn't hurt you. It only helps you and generations to come.
The future all depends on the power of our quotes, the power of a pen, the power of a vote, the power of your words, the power of your voice, the power of America's the freedom of choice. We choose to do nothing, we lose and we suffering.
If you don't register, you won't have a voice. Rock the vote.
I just read the book somebody in Australia put me on. I'm a huge Obama guy now, and hoping that the world fall in love with Obama. And afterwards we can, what did or didn't happen, we can debate. But Obama is so crazy. It was such a big deal in Black America and in America. And there's Obama Boulevard, and I was walking over there with my boys to pick up some food, and on Obama and La Cienega, and yeah, it was. They were like, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna cross Obama," and it was just a street to them. Like my 6-year-old and my 4-year-old have no idea, but they'll always grow up knowing that there was a Black president. Like that possibility is real. For my 11-year-old, it's very real. I didn't grow up with that, and I did all right. But imagine if I grew up just that alone. So policy and politics be damned. The idea of it, the idea of a white kid seeing that, like Black people can do that. Not every Black, like I said, breaking those, just even if it's a little chip, it's something. Even if it says, they cheated, all that. I'm glad that the Obama transition isn't marred so much by this current state of the world. But yeah, I'll back off the politics.
My first pair of Jordans that I bought when I was 21, all my money, not depending on anyone.
My first pair of Jordans that I bought when I was 21, all my money not depending on anyone. We know that story. It just coincided. There are finally some blue Jordans that I can wear and feel good about, and I have money to buy them. Woo! Thank you for the 13s, MJ. Fuck those kids. Care Bears, Apple Jacks, Running Man, Cabbage Patch, G.I. Joe, and any show that came on after that. Yeah. Care Bears, I wore a short yesterday. I support this clothing brand called Natives, NTVS clothing. Out of Minnesota, indigenous people own it, run it, designs, all that stuff. So I try to, like, instead of buying hip hop shit sometimes, support community. I'm 3/16 some type of indigenous. We can get into that later. So I feel like I'm totally not perpetrating, but I'm kind of perpetrating. But how long my hair is, there's some Indian in my family, as we say. But I have a Care Bear. It's a Care Bear, but it's Powwow Bear, and he has like a indigenous drum, and he's orange, and he's doing it like he's dancing in a ceremony. And then my kids just discovered Care Bear, so I'm like, which Care Bear is that? And I'm like, well, they kind of made their own. Wait, I can make my own? Well, fuck that. That's Peanut Butter Bear then. So they became Peanut Butter Bear. I was like, damn, like am I appropriating? I'm just trying to support indigenous business. I'm kind of part of some tribe somewhere. And so I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, this podcast is going to go on forever. G.I. Joe and any show that came on after that. Once again, if you're not reading the Inner John universe and you read comics, do it. Ninth loves G.I. Joe. We love Hasbro. We got to do a Hasbro live stream where I freestyled over a Ninth Wonder beat he made using the Transformers music, and I don't think they ever paid it for him. But shout out to Hasbro for letting me do that. Shout out to DJ Amen for making that happen. I called Ninth and I'm like, bro, you won't believe. They need some cleared music. Would you like to have the clearance to flip Transformers theme? And I'm a freestyle over it for the Hasbro toy line. Bruh. That's just, he didn't say talk to my manager. My man said, boom. 20 minutes later, I had a fucking Ninth Wonder beat that flipped the Transformer. I might play it on the podcast. Fuck it, right? That shit was amazing. Hasbro, send my mans his shit. The talking Grimlock about the Megatron. That Megatron's fire. I didn't get the Grimlock or Optimus Prime, but I have to have that fucking Megatron. That shit is clean. Send me one of those too, Hasbro, if you could. Thank you. Y'all never know where this podcast is going. It's just G.I. Joe, like, got kind of, I guess, like, was washed by the time I was, like, later on. So, you know, the ones that came at the prime, the good new cartoons came on around 8:30. But you don't want to watch the Snorks or Kissy Fur. You don't want to watch those. If you have heard, so I probably will do a whole podcast for Patreon about the Z-Trip and Super Nat song we have about cartoons, because that song gets a lot of play. Shout out DJ Z-Trip again and Nat, Super Nat.
I love Super Sugar Crisp when I'm watching my cartoons. I love Count Chocula when I'm watching my cartoons.
Let's go. Pour the milk in the bowl, make sure it's ice cold. Hold my hand on the top so it won't overflow. Forget playing outside with my friends.
After school, like G.I. Joe is 3 o'clock, Thundercats, Silverhawks after that.
Wings of silver, birds of steel.
Like, who's producing these sessions? And then who knew, like, those are the things I wonder. Like, did you know, like, me and my friends were like watching this and pornography at the same time, that like this went to like gangbangers that grew up on shit, like that this theme song is known by all people of all walks of life around the world. In that session, they have no idea. They're like, yo, you got time to do some session work? There's a toy from Japan. They're making a show. The car turns into a robot. Y'all want to sing the song? How much does it pay? They couldn't have got more than $50. They didn't get any publishing on that. Hasbro, Marvel, whoever kept the publishing for sure. Like, that was just session work. And then you just made the most epic song of all time. Musicians, I mean, somebody composed that. And that shit is fire.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers, robots in disguise. The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers.
That shit still slaps to my kids. It's timeless. That shit comes on, it's lit, bro. To this day. Who did that? Yeah, man. Cadillacs, old schools. Kind of self-explanatory, but I just want to address this. I'm 46 now. I said Cadillac when I'm 45. When we recorded Felt 4, this is before the pandemic. Before I had four children, I only had 3. Not that that's huge, but still. This is when we were going to do a Felt tour. A lot of other things were planned, and then COVID happened. So I'm a little bit behind on my financial strategies to get the Cadillac. Tried to buy my kid's great-grandfather's Cadillac. I didn't know that motherfucker put 90,000 miles on it. If you know any American-made car that's good to go after 100,000 miles, let me know. But I was like, nah. He wanted me to buy it for real for like 8 G's. I was like, man, no. But he's going to let me use it for the album cover, I think. So that's cool. And I'll probably eventually buy that one. But also, yeah, I don't know if I want to get pulled over. Like, Cadillacs have a sweet spot before they get to the knuckle. Like, somebody's grandfather get it to their knucklehead grandson or their nephew or something. I want the Cadillac that old black men drive that act like they play golf. That's the Cadillac I want. That was when I had my Eldorado. It was a 96 Eldorado, and it was like 1999. So it was like cool. It was like a 3-year older, 2-door sedan, touring coupe. Like, I don't know. Niggas wasn't in that. There was no gangbangers in that. Old Jewish men and women, older black men, like I said, that go to church, deacons. Not even deacons. Like, it's a unique person. Like, that's the car I want. That's the Cadillac I want. Because I feel like I'm not that age, but that's my vibe. That's what I'm going for. Anything like once the Cadillac is 10 years old, somebody could do the drive-bys in that. I don't want that car. That's dangerous. until I go like full gray. Then I be like, and when I look like I've had the car since it came out, like, you know, that's what I want. I've had this Cadillac since this model. I bought this Cadillac when I was 50, and I'm a driver until I die. Officer, say stock everything. Very little tint. Old. I want to be going to Mahjong in this motherfucker. I don't want any problems. That's what the Cadillac 145. I lied in my lyrics, but it was not my fault. I lost my job after that. I lost everything. So not everything, but everything. Ways of making income was really, really challenging. I lost 70% of my income in COVID with no announcement. Still recovering, guys. As a musician, just want to let you guys know what's going on in the indie rap front post-COVID, if that's even what this is. Cadillacs, old schools, rainbows, no rules, waterfalls, sun rays. Who's rapping about this stuff, man? Ali talked to me about Pigeon John, same thing. Pigeon John would be rapping about this. PM Don, Pigeon John, Paul Barman. These are the people that I also play along with. E40, Be Legit, all the gangster shit I listen to. I would ride around in my 96 Cadillac blasting Paul Barman and Vanilla Ice because I can. That's that wicked laugh. I dare you. I wish you would say something about these pro wings with the peaking ring strings. I will bust your whole shit open. That's how I go looking for a fight. Some people get drunk and they touch on other people's girlfriend. I play Paul Barman in a Cadillac, and I wish you would say something funny.
Whoever thought Paul Barman would change the game? I started rhyming when the radio was unbearably lame. Rappers are in danger. Depression is closely followed by delusions of grandeur. I think about all the pube I got while reading the Rubaiyat and make babies in bunny slippers with the JBs rocking the honey drippers.
Hey, baby. Do you know who I am?
But who doesn't like those things? And then who else is right? Like, I still watch football like a meathead man. I want to drink Budweiser and Bud Light and fucking watch the game, bro. I don't fucking. I appreciate waterfalls, sun rays, Care Bears, the dance to Cabbage Patch Kids. Like, there's a spectrum of masculinity and feminine, just humanity. I'm all over the place, man. Football Sundays. You know who doesn't like football? My wife. Most women hate it. I disappear. Every woman that I've dated, I think, has hate. I don't know if you guys, but football season's coming back, man. Now I have kids that don't like sports. I got 4 boys. Everybody's like, oh, and none of them like professional wrestling or really any organized sports. I can't get my half Brazilian sons to fucking play soccer or watch soccer with me. Basketball, wrestling, nothing. Pokemon, play in the dirt, Legos, anime. But I as much time as I put into football in my life, I couldn't get one, bro. Not one. I can't even act like I have to argue with my wife or their mother about fucking CTE or whatever. They're not even interested. So, yeah. Fuck. My goal, my thing is now, hopefully they date somebody in the WNBA when they grow up. So I have somebody fucking athletic, sports ball related, some game that I can go to in college and somebody to go pro in my family. I think that's just because my kids are tall. But then my wife killed that because she said tall guys date short girls. Her brother's 6'4", his wife is 5'2" or something crazy. So send help, y'all. This podcast is off the rails. I'm just, at this point, who knows?
Cadillacs, old schools, rainbows, no rules, waterfalls, sun rays, football, Sundays, 3-day, weekend, sleep in, Monday, a 5-hour flight, touching down on the runway, living out desire, clothes fresh out the dryer, seeing my name when they handing out flyers, shows when they sold out, girls when they hold out, girls when they give it up, money when I get a cut, walking in the crib, see a newborn sitting up, one life, one love, come on y'all, live it up.
3-day, weekend, sleep in, Monday. Coming up on, this podcast will be posted the day after Memorial Day. Shout out to everyone that has lost someone in service. I even consider people who've lost people to gang violence in service to your community, or victims of war, those incarcerated. Remember all those people. Any flag, any nation. A day to remember warriors. I guess that's Veterans Day, but Memorial Day. I think the people who lost their lives, the people who served, the people who lost. Some gave everything, some gave it all, some gave a little, some that whatever the saying is, no disrespect. A 5-hour flight touching down on the runway, that's another one I just said for Knife, because Knife did not like flying. As I do ground waves and like, yo, you want to come to LA and do Thought Fest? We got a foundation to pay for your ticket, and to see, a black dude in his early 20s, mid 20s, like, bro, I've never been on a plane. Or some people, like, I haven't been on a plane since I was 7, and be able to cover that for them. I'm like, what do y'all want to do? Where y'all want to go out? Like, I'll try to hook up the little homies. Like, rarely I'll go outside, and they're like, we want to go to the beach. I'm like, oh shit. These motherfuckers just want to go see the beach. Yeah. Like for me, I'm like, oh yeah, go to the beach when it gets a little warmer. They're like, no, nigga, I am from Oklahoma. We are landlocked out this bitch. Take me to the beach, fool. Let me smoke weed in public. I got a kid I mentor in Arkansas that when I started Ground Waves was doing 18 months for possession of marijuana, but really and dissing the police, saying the police were the KKK in Northwest Arkansas, which isn't far from the fucking truth. Terrorist threat is what they called it on Facebook, and they use that as an excuse to raid his house where he had marijuana. Came home, got a job, but has anxiety, as I talk about. When I was young, weed saved my life. I didn't know that's what I was doing, was medicating, but I was. If you're socially awkward, anxious, ADHD, like whatever it is, it can help. I don't know what it did for my frontal lobe at that age, but the alternative was I could have wound up with my brains blown out because I would have said the wrong shit to somebody, getting picked on and trying to stand up for myself and getting, like I was able to just focus and zone out and chuckle and laugh when I had to deal with assholes. Yeah, it's just like, like inner city LA is kind of like you deal with like they put on TV like the jocks and the blah, blah, and then the jocks and the bullies, but the jocks don't play sports. Like we didn't have any athletes at school. We had cool guys whose parents were rich and they had Tommy Hilfiger, and then cool gangbangers. And then on the other side of that, then you get the bullies, and the bullies aren't just guys who want to fucking pull your underwear up. They might shoot you if you don't let them do the things that they want. If you embarrass them, stand up to them and beat their ass, what does that solve? Nothing, because now they're mad. You embarrass them, they have to kill you, right? So it's like a lose. I guess that's under the no rules part. Waterfall, sun rays, football, Sundays, 5-hour flight touching down on the runway. Getting out of your element, getting on a plane, going to the beach. Ninth, I don't know how many flights Ninth had been on since before his rap career popped off. But when I met his dad and we became friends, I'm like, yo, you gotta, like, we would go on walks, me and his dad, and he'd just be like, that's that. He knows, he used to do landscaping, so he knows all flora and fauna, or knew all flora and fauna, like just knew that's that. This grows in, this is like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, bro, I would just love to, talk about waterfall, sunray, like going on hikes. I'm still a nature guy. Like, I would love to just go with your father and just walk through the neighborhoods and like him point out all this shit to me. Cause I almost majored in botany. So yeah, like, fuck yeah. So me and his dad clicked again, like on another level. I'm just like, bro. So now I'm like, you got to come meet my family. You got to meet my grandfather, because he's more closer to my grandfather's age than my mother's age. Like, come on, bro. I'll buy the ticket. Murs, I ain't getting on no bird. He just look at Murray. I ain't getting on that bird. Nope. No, so if that's your dad, I can imagine like Knife. So Knife and I would talk about turbulence and flights, because I think as much flying he was doing was new to him. For all of us, like when we start, like I'm flying all the time. There's not a lot of, you go to Atlanta, you see a lot of black people in the airport. Not a lot of black people in the airport. Look around next time. I wanted to throw that in there for him. And when I did that, he gave me an amen on that. He's like, bruh. So, speaking for your producer, for your friend, little inside jokes. Living out desire, clothes fresh out the dryer, seeing my name when they handing out flyers. Fly it in a piece of paper bearing my name. Just, shout out to that.
Fly it in a piece of paper bearing my name.
Seeing my name when they handing out flyers. Shows when they sold out. Girls when they hold out. Girls when they give it up. Money when I get a cut. Walking in the crib, see a newborn sitting up. One life, one love. Come on, y'all, live it up.
Shows when they sold out. Girls when they hold out. Girls when they give it up. Money when I get a cut. One life. Walking in the crib, see a newborn sitting up. One life, one love. You know, talking about, I hadn't had that feeling, but seeing Knife live this life, and especially in this album, being in his home, how happy the baby would be to see him, to see us, but to see him and imagine like that could be me one day, you know? Now I come in the house and nobody gives a shit. What did you bring us? I'm not getting up from Pokemon TV, looking up from my Legos. Fuck you. But in my mind, it'd be a thing where dad walks home right away like, Dad, but right now it's just a baby. Yeah. But no, seriously, like coming home to your family is amazing, especially when you've been traveling and, you know, you've been on flights and you know, yeah. If you're a family man, you feel me. If your family gives you the blues, you probably want those trips and walk in the door and be happy to be ignored. Not judging that either. Not judging that either. I understand. Yeah, I think that's about it for this song, man. And I love it. Probably my favorite song, as you can see. But yeah, I think that's it. I touched on everything. Shout out all the homies that listen to this podcast. I'm always surprised. I wish I could remember the name I wanted to say today. But you know who you are. If you know me and you've texted me about the podcast, thank you. Shout out to the homie Kinky Red. Shout out to Fish Fillet from CVE. Just reposting. If you don't follow the podcast, it's at BRILAPOD. Please give us a follow. Posting clips. It'll remind you that there's a new episode out and shit like that. And then we're also going to have my homeboy Aaron Sawyer, who is a battle rapper out of Arkansas and a heavy metal singer and a freestyle genius and yoga instructor. Anyway, also is going to be animating some clips. So if you want to see some of these things animated via AI and his skills, that'll be coming soon to the page along with the clips Rob posts. So there'll be reasons to tune in there. Hopefully we'll get to the point where we can start to have previews so you can see what's coming up in next month's or next week's episode. I love y'all. Have a great week. Thanks for listening to the Best Rapper in LA podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Music or Spotify. And to support the podcast directly, go to patreon.com/MURS316, Murs316. See y'all next week. Peace. Peace.